I was out walking and I was thinking when I got back home about a bunch of things that I've seen on the interwebs about utility knives. And the thing that I've seen is that there's some utility knives that I knew about but did not know about. They're just wildly expensive. Seed Designs has one utility knife that's 175 to $250 range. Big Idea Designs have some in the $80 to $120 range. But then there's these ones that are made by Hawk, I think it's Hawk Systems, that are in the $400 plus range. They are beautiful. They are exquisite. The materials are top notch on all these. I just want to say that right off the bat. And I will say, if you want something that looks beautiful, definitely look at those. But the practicality of their use and how they're going to get used is really no different than these utility knives that you have here. And I'm going to talk about these for just a quick second, and then I'll get back to, are those knives ones that you have an interest in? Let me start with what I consider to be the GOAT. Not necessarily this, but the regular Milwaukee Fastback. This one, oops. This one is just a fantastic one. The Fastback is the GOAT. Everything else is some sort of iteration of this. And when you're competing against it, you're looking at better materials, lighter materials. That's has a thing to compete against. Somewhat price, but it's mostly because they're $20. The price is not going to matter to most people inside of North America, the USA, Canada, Mexico, if they're going to get this. This is the one that I use in my toolkit. This one actually comes with the bits at the end, and it's just a great knife. Let's say that you put in a receptacle, cut out, you can cut out your square with this, and then you can do anything you want. You can cut your wires, and you have everything that you need here. I'm not in the trades. I'm not an expert. I'm a DIYer person with a strong sense of technology. And you just get your little blade. This is a Doyle, which is just another copycat of this. I did not buy this. I got this free at a Harbor Freight, promotion. Go and spend whatever, $30. You get the option of a choice of the thing to get, and I got this right here. And this is actually really nice. It's just, it's that solid metal-y sound to it. It's a replica of this in so many ways. Even you can tell the way it comes out. You can tell the way that how you change the blade. The only difference is when changing blades on this is that one, you change it on the left side, the other you change it on the right side. Here you change it up here, and on this one you will change it right here. This has a lot of things that Harbor Freight does. They do a really good job of iterating, copying whatever is leading the market. I just think that this is just really good. I just tighten this up and tighten it up too much. I gotta loosen it up a little bit here. Now, this is probably the most expensive one that I have out. This is the Maker UTI Edge. So if you don't want to get a UTI, you get this. And and this is one of the ones that you see a lot of ones that are being made now are just basically, they're using the pressure to slip out with. You're using the pressure to slip out. You just use your finger, go back and forth, it gets locked in, and you can push it down and get locked in there to get a little bit more blade if you want to. Push it down to lock back. And there's a lot of these. Big Ideas has one similarly, the TPT. It's got a little bit nicer materials on the TPT, and it probably works a little bit better. This is one that I got from a County Com mystery bag or something like that. and I don't use it very often. I take it out to look at it. I like it because it has this little lanyard hold, but it's not something that I would want to put in my pocket. But there's a number of really nice ones, and these are like this one I think is normally $40 range, maybe even $50 now. It is one that with a slide out, another slide out one. I got this one once again. I bought something from Dominic at Max Level EDC. This is one of the ones that it took me a little while to get used to. Do I push up or do I push down? And I found out for me it's better to push up and out to get it out, but it works in the same way. I do like this, but it's not one that I gravitate toward. I've got a couple of these and I have one that sits on my desk the whole time, but this is not one that I pick up and use. The one that I pick up and use the most often is this Work Pro. And I think I bought like 3 of these for $10 and I have 3 of them. And it sits on my desk. I got one on each desk. I use the ceramic blades. I've been gravitating toward the ceramic blades. They last a little longer. They cut a little smoother when they get old. You just have to be aware that they do chip when you're puncturing stuff. Make sure you know what's on the other side. These are really great for your Amazon boxes, and even the plastic ones that you can open. So these are all, and this one is the Outdoor Edge one. This one is one of the ones that is really an interesting one. My issue is that I always want this to be a flipper. One of the best clones competition for Milwaukee Fastback is the Crescent one, and it has a little flipper here. That just I really like that. I just don't feel a need to buy one because I got all these, but that's what I always wish that this one was. This one also has a liner lock. I use this one mostly for camping. I take it out camping. I don't know why. It's been exclusively my camping one, but it's got straight edge here for screwdriver, Phillips. This clip is really good on your pack, so you can always carry it with you. It tends to be a little heavier, but I like it. This is the Olight one. Olight makes 3 or 4 different versions of this. This is my favorite version. I never fell in love with the ones that have the 4mm pieces. I've got the 4mm Olight little flipper things, and so I don't need. This one opens really easy. I take this when I travel. I usually take the blade out. I do know at TSA they are looking for these things on occasion, and they do take them from people. Utility blades that don't have knives in them. This looks a little less conspicuous, and I've never had it taken away from me. But just be aware of what I tell people is that other countries have different knife laws than we do, and if you carry this with a blade in it, it could be a fairly serious offense, where meaning that they can arrest you and put you in the pokey. So just be aware of that. More likely than not, depending upon where you're traveling, they'll just confiscate this. But some places they do put you in the pokey. Most of them don't have any different blades than you would get here, or you can use your ceramic blades. They aren't going to be different. Some of them they will sell you ones that are serrated. That's the big difference. And a couple have specialized ones, but even the specialized ones carry D2 blades with HRCs around 60. You know what else has a D2 blade and an HRC around 60? This. So if the blade is the most important thing itself, you can get, anywhere between 15 to 20 of these before you can get the other ones. One of the other ones, if that's what you're looking for a D2 blade. Now, the Tyrant is much better quality in everything Let me just say that. So I'm not trying to put you off in any way, but I'm saying if the blade is the most important things for cutting rope, opening up little panels of things, then, you're not doing much better. Then there's some that are talking about putting M390 in them. And the reason why is because a lot of these expensive ones are USA made ones, but most of them are, some of them are talking about putting M390 blades on. And that's primarily because they are US made or US assembled Chinese made materials. The ones that are all USA made, like the Hawk one, then they theoretically could put M90 blades together. But once again, they have such a limited run that in 5 years from now, would you still be able to get those blades if you needed them? Don't know. That's what I would worry about. So you're spending what you would spend on this arc with a MagnaCut blade on basically a pretty nice utility blade that you can get and use that is similar to what you would get for this, I think, $15 Doyle now, or this $20 Milwaukee. This is Haku EDC. This is just my thoughts on utility blades. See you in the future.